Jack and Sons. It's like they're prime area. They'll spend the money. Like
my phone says 10:01.
Back in the day, no one cared. You should dump food.
Mine says 10:01. That says 9:59. That says 9:59. He's got to remove voice behind. Good try. Any word on Gary not being here? All right, well, it is 10 o'clock. So we will start the August 7th technical committee meeting. Let's start with roll call.
Auditor? Here. Health?
here.
Highway? Aid?
Here.
Plan Commission? Here. Purdue Extension? Here. County Surveyor?
Here. All right, first on the agenda will be review of the minutes from the last meeting. Everybody have a chance to look at those, and I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, first on the agenda, Huffman Minor Sub, approximately 4300 East, 550 South. Chris, you can grab our sheets here and then go ahead and give us a quick rundown of what we have. I guess I should state. Back down.
Thank you.
Just for public information, this meeting is being recorded, so anything that is said is public information as it goes through. So we're going to throw that out there.
Yep, good morning. Chris Cooper, Core Consulting. Yeah, we just have a one-lot minor subdivision on 550 South. It's a little under 3 acres. It's a pretty simple one, pretty straightforward. Happy to answer any questions. Kayla, I had your comments yesterday, and we kind of started looking at them. So, and you do have, everybody has the update because we moved this. Well, we didn't move the site. We altered the site. We shifted it to the east a little bit. It used to be all the way in the west side of the property, but Dawn, I assume everybody has the latest.
What was turned into the.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
believe that.
Yeah, it's more to the east.
Yeah.
More to the west of the track. Right.
Originally, it was all the way in the west corner, but there's more flood issues there, so they
Yes.
wanted to get it on the high point. That's why it was altered. But,
Okay. Start at the end. Purdue.
No comments from Purdue.
Okay, I had comments, but I think they're gonna get addressed, and I think they might have been based on the old copy, because that's
And
what I had in my folder.
that's kind of what I was, when I was
Yeah.
reading it, some of it seemed like it was relative to that, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. So, okay, but yeah, we'll address those and I'll
Sounds
let you
good.
know.
The comments we have on there, obviously we'll have to inspect the drain once it's installed. Either install the 8-inch tile or bond it before recording. So know that.
So there is a tile
Okay.
that runs across the front of this property.
Why
and
didn't we shoot it in and give us elevation?
well, we do at the outfall
Okay.
in the ditch. Yes, that's the only place we have it exposed. I think Randy Huffman, he would have put it in a few years ago when he started building his house to the east of us.
Okay.
And it's an 8-inch tile that runs all the way along the county road, then cuts down to the ditch.
I have the approximate location of the drainage easement from Buckley on
Yes.
here. I imagine it's in that.
That's what I don't know, because if you look at, do you have the supplemental data sheet?
I have the supplemental data sheet. I see an 8-inch CPP.
Yes, and you see where the easement
yep.
is relative to, so
Okay.
I don't know how it was ran, or
Okay.
I'm sure it was a
So
stake.
from that standpoint, we will need to make sure that if it does run in Buckley's easement, then make sure that is recorded. If it's not, then we'll have to create a new easement in case they sell that property or whatever, so that way that's there. It should be easy since it's all owned by the same person.
Yeah.
As it gets through there. But those are the only comments that I have from that standpoint.
Health Department, from the Health Department. My comment, it really is, the first one is just that the drawing only has 3 soils on it. I know there's 6 of them from the soils report.
Yeah, and
But I don't know why the other 3 didn't make it on there.
I think it might be one of the labels might just be blocking it, so
Yeah.
you can't see it, and that might be the case for the other one as well. But
And the other comment is just a comment, is that this grade, at least from the primary that's listed as the fall to the outlet is pretty small.
Sure.
So it might push them into having an above ground sand line or something like that.
okay.
That's just a heads up.
Yeah. No, we'll review that. And
Okay.
Auditor's office has no comment.
Mutual aid has no comments.
After review, and I will entertain a motion.
I did have. Does Highway not have any comments, or will I get those
You will.
separately?
You'll get those separate from them if
Okay.
he has any. Yes.
Because I know, Kayla, you had the question about the right of way. So I was hoping he would clear that up.
Yeah, we will. We will include them in our motion.
Okay.
So why don't we include highway in the motion? So
Okay.
that since we don't know if they have any or not, if they don't, it's just an easy sign off. If not, then that leaves that opportunity for the chair. So I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept this plan based on the comments from planning, surveyor, and health, including the comments that may come from highway.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All right, those in favor, if I say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, our other item on the agenda, Mr. John Smith, Outback Storage. This is they were here last month, I think, to start with, and then we tabled it. Was that correct? that
Yes,
correct?
it was continued.
It was continued? Mhm. So. Some comments there, John. John, if you want to state your name there and just, or either one of you, and just give us a little quick overview of what's happening here, and then we can go from there. All right.
Sure. John Smith, Kim Medlin. As we were here last month, we addressed the comments that were in front of us and made changes to the drawings based on that. And they're looking for approval to move forward. So it's for outback storage, outdoor storage with no new buildings. There's a residential on the site that will stay residential. And then the rest will be an open parking lot. Pretty simple, straightforward, so be glad to answer any questions we can.
Okay, great.
Purdue has no comments.
2 big broad comments from planning. The development plan documents are still a little bit light. I'm looking for a property survey in addition, and some of those items just carried through across the sheets a little bit more accurately. For example, just the property corners being consistently shown across the sets. The scales were off just a little bit between the sheets, but I think that might have been a printing issue. And just some other, little things like, is there gonna be a dumpster enclosure? Okay, the landscape plan just needs to be worked on a little bit more. Trees along State Road 9 need to be planted outside of the 35-foot half right-of-way. The buffer landscaping requirements on the south side of the drive were concerning because that's where there is still that existing residence. So making sure we had all the trees that were called for in that area, like, would be really important, or any kind of screening down there. And understanding exactly how much room there is between the drive and the property line there. And then if we're counting the existing trees that are remaining on the site, I'd like to know what species they are to make sure that they're not invasive species or things that wouldn't be considered quality.
Well, I'd like to address those as we go. So first was the property boundaries. Jeff Powell's a registered surveyor. You have the surveyor and it has the survey corners marked. He did a survey on it and stamped the drawings. It's on the C 2.1. Prior to this meeting, which we've talked to you several times, you've asked us to count the trees that are there and leave them remaining. We've never been asked to call those out as to what species they are. They're all hardwood. But that would have been nice to know before today. What else did we have? Clearly labeled. Does existing septic have perimeter drain? No, wouldn't have been required back then.
That's for me. That'll be mine.
sorry.
You're right, we'll get there. Those are Kayla's comments. If
Yeah.
anything else.
How will
Kayla?
buffer landscape requirement on Southside Drive be addressed to buffer residential property to the south? We meet or exceed the amount of trees that were called out in a landscape plan. There's existing 8-foot fence, 6-foot fence that will remain between the two houses. That's not our fence. That was installed by the property to the south. Then the fence to the west is actually on our property, but it's the school's fence, so we were gonna leave it. And then the property to the north has a fence that's actually on our property as well, and noted in the C 2.1 drawing, and that's gonna remain. What else? Dumpster? No, we don't have any intention to have a dumpster enclosure for the outdoor storage. Was there other items that I missed?
Those are the main ones, and I'm happy to work with Mike, Terry, and Jeff to just tie up loose ends on that.
Okay.
All right, John, go ahead and just scratch the first two on mine. I'm not worried about the first two. Yeah, modernize in the POB, POC. Not worried about that. The question I had about the perimeter drain and the sub pump was just to make sure there was no tiles or anything that were running underneath that stone when you did that. So I don't know if there was a sub pump to that house. Did this have a crawl space?
Daylights.
The daylights, okay, that's great. I just need to know because it doesn't show it on there.
Yeah, there's a small, like 10 by 12 basement, has the HVAC in it, and it daylights out the north side of the building.
Okay, good. So then,
And there is no perimeter drain that we're aware of.
okay, all right. I just
We
wanted to
did
make
find
sure
it.
that, right, because this was a wooded lot to begin with, correct?
Yes, very
Okay.
heavy.
And so that kind of brings to a different question there. My next comment is that we've taken this whole thing from a grass wooded area to a stoned area. So the question, just for a question, is I may have to look at it from a standpoint of now that we've added this much impervious area, do we need to do anything with the water? So, but from my standpoint, it kind of goes to the next comment. I have no elevations on here to see how you've graded this.
Okay.
So I need to know where the water is going. You understand what I mean? Are we sending it one way or the other? Have we crowned it? Is it completely flat? How are we doing this? Because we get a rain event, right? We've just got rid of all that impervious area from the area that will take water from the grass, and now we've put stone down. Where's that water going to go? So I just need to know to make sure we're not throwing water onto the school. We're not throwing water where it's at. I don't think you're going to need detention for where you're at. I just want to make sure we're not creating an issue on someone because we've gotten rid of all that grass and put all stone down.
I can answer that, but we can put it in writing as well.
Sure.
The existing grade that was there attenuates to the northwest, and there's detention to the northwest.
Correct. There's
of
a
there.
pond up there,
Yeah,
correct.
and so that's where it was and where it is.
Okay, and that's fine. I just would like to see some shots on here of the elevation, so that way I have documentation of where that's going. Right, and when Jeff did his
Jeff has
survey,
that, yeah.
he should have those numbers, so that should be on there. So that's the biggest thing I'm worried about on the site, is where that water is going, since we created all that into stone for where we're at.
Okay.
And I guess from a different standpoint, Jeff has drawn on here all the proposed marking things. Are those are unmarked storage areas, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so are you going to put anything down from a standpoint of, I know it's gravel and so it gets moved
Striping.
around, but I guess that would probably go towards mutual aid at some point if, how are you going to maintain that things are actually parked that way? So if they need to get in there to do something, things aren't cattywampus for where they're at, right? Somebody comes
stripe
in and
it.
just draws it in and puts it where it's at. Now they can't get to something that's there.
It will be striped.
Okay, so it's going to be striped.
Yep. And each lot will have a spot marking that 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
Okay,
Stall.
good, good. I just want to make sure, because that's not clear on this drawing of how that's going to be. It just says they're unmarked storage areas. You understand what I mean? It just says they're proposed unmarked storage areas. So to me, that means you're not marking them, and this is kind of how we think it will be laid out. So
Okay.
I just for future, just to make sure they don't run into that standpoint for that. The only other thing that, I think that's all I have from that standpoint, from those that are there. So that's my comments.
Highway Department has nothing.
Health Department, we have a few issues. First, you telling us that the septic is there is not good enough. We need a third-party person to tell us that knows septics, to tell us that there's a septic there that's adequate for that house. The area that is under grass looks like those fingers might be 15-foot long. So you got 3 15-foot long fingers for a house.
Can we back up to the first question?
Yeah.
So you weren't at the last meeting, but your predecessor was. They asked for a letter from a septic installer.
Yeah.
We provided that, Smith Projects.
The letter was from you guys.
This is actually for Outback Storage, and then Smith Projects provided that, yes.
Yeah.
We're a licensed installer with Hancock County. We've installed.
Well, there's no licensing, but yeah.
Well, we were before you changed that law, right?
Yeah, it would be nice to have somebody else that's not involved to say that the septic is there.
Because we're not qualified, or because it's us that's inspecting it?
It's because it's the same people.
Okay.
The same property owner is telling us we need a third-party person to verify that. The other part is you have a septic tank in the middle of the drive.
Uh-huh.
Can't do that
Why is that? It's traffic rated?
because it's against the code. You can't have a septic tank in a driveway. You're supposed to be 10 feet from anything like a driveway with any part of the septic. That's state code.
So if you have a traffic rated lid and a traffic rated concrete around it, like we do at all commercial sites where they drive over with semis and,
Yeah, you can't do that. That's not allowed in the code.
okay.
The other part is this is going from a residential to a commercial.
The building is not.
Well, but is it part of the same property?
The building is a residential leased property.
Are they being separated?
Yes.
The house and the,
There's a
storage
tenant that
unit.
stays in the property that leases as residential, and then the remaining is commercial
right,
site.
but is this being cut out and staying residential and the rest of it being made
This goes
commercial?
back for months ago when we met with Carla and we went through the whole process that we're leaving that residential.
Yeah.
The remaining is commercial. That's how it's always been accepted.
And a lot of this is leading up to, for me, is leading up to 9 Stars right here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a 20-year time where you have to hook up to sewers. And 8 of those years have already passed.
And we're hooked up at Smith Projects and Outback Storage on the other side.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
so-
reason to hook
so
the
that would
septic up
probably, I
while
guess
it's
that's where
working.
I'm leading. The best thing for you guys to do is to connect that to sewers.
Why
Connect
would
that
we
house.
spend that money if it's working correctly?
Well, you have to in the
12
next
years?
12 years, yeah.
Yeah, assuming I own it then.
Yeah. So, and that's our recommendation from the health department, is that you connect to sewers.
So why was this not recommended in our first meetings that we had?
I wasn't here.
It's like
I
it's
don't
ever changing when we come back, right?
know. No.
Yeah, all along we were using a septic, show that it's good. We showed that it's good by a licensed installer. Smith Projects, so that I happen to own the company, and now we want to hook to 9 Star. So it's just ever changing.
It's not ever changing. First, the septic tank has never been allowed to be in a driveway.
Okay?
That's never been a thing.
Here's what you had last meeting.
Yeah.
What we had last meeting was the septic tank looked like it was right
Yeah,
next
that's
to.
the other thing too. It moved somehow. But those fingers, first off, those fingers are grossly undersized for a house. Is that 3 or 4 bedroom house? It's gross.
Does it make it, if we bought the house and used the house as residential, which we're doing, you folks would never say you need to change the septic? Unless we came back and it was not working
But
properly.
you're changing the property. That's the difference. It's a change of use.
Brent,
So, I mean, that's our recommendation, is that you either hook up, connect to sewers, or have a third party come out and verify that that's an adequate septic.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of adequate inspectors that we have to use?
I can get you that.
I just don't
I mean,
understand. 'cause
right
we
now,
were-
I only know of one person. There used to be about 4 people that are certified that go out and,
So when the county required there to be a certification, Smith Projects was the only certified installer, guarantee you this, was the only qualified installer. And then about a year later, no one else could get qualified, so you retracted that to where they didn't have to be qualified, licensed in Hancock County to do the installs.
no, you had, you mean you were IOPA certified?
Yes, we were the
Yeah.
only one that were OPA certified.
No, there's several of. the
There was none
contractors.
for Hancock County. That's the reason you guys retracted that.
No, we've never required IOPA certification.
You sure did. You did it for a year about 6,
Nope.
7 years ago.
Richard, somebody else did.
Yes,
We
that was
haven't.
still the county you
Yeah.
guys worked for the county, so it was the county that required that.
That
You
was
were
never
OPA certified.
that was never a written, that was Richard.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, but first off, you can't do that. I mean, that's not a requirement. You can't do that by the state code anymore, too. That's changed.
To my point, it qualifies us. We are OPA certified.
Yeah.
We provided that, and now you're saying we can't inspect another piece of property that we own. So who is that inspecting party? Because we did
It has
what
to be
we,
a third-party person. You can't,
Petrie Excavating?
if you want to, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
A conflict of interest for
Yeah.
yourself to be the one that does the inspecting.
But there's
that's
no
what
one to
he's-
inspect. That's the point.
And
There's
when,
no
That's
list
just
of
what they're
inspectors.
when you
doing.
get,
That's
when
what
you
he's
give
just
us,
trying to
when
say.
you, also, when you give us the information, when Petrie gives us that information, he needs to tell us that there are 3 fingers, 15-foot long,
Okay.
with a 1,000-gallon tank. And when we look at that and we say, you know, a typical septic is gonna have 5 100-foot fingers for
1,500
that
feet of
size of a house.
coverage, yep.
You're gonna say, well, that's grossly undersized.
But we don't have to replace it, and even if it is grossly undersized,
Well, it's not-
until it doesn't work.
We have no record of it being permitted, ever. It was done.
Yeah, it's done
probably-
100 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So when you change the use of the property, that's the time to update it.
Even though we're not changing the use of the house,
Yeah. You are changing the use of the property.
but not the house.
The house is part of the property.
Yeah.
Auditor's office has no comment.
Thank you.
Mutual aid has no comments.
Thank you.
I move that we continue.
Hold on. Do you have anything back there? You good?
Fire department, we don't have issues. We're good with.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
One of the things that we did have, just for highways, was we needed a dot approval by NDOT as well. Has that been addressed?
Didn't know we needed an MDOT approval.
It was on the last one that you're using their access from their right of way to get into your property. And you're doing a change of use from a residential driveway to a commercial driveway. So you have to contact them to get your driveway permit and go by their standards. That was in last month's comments that I gave you.
Yeah, we had to meet their standards, and we did, and we put it on the drawings that we're meeting those standards. It's,
I saw that, but you have to get a permit through them and then they go by whatever they want. If they have to inspect it, whatever the NDOT will require. No, but you're going to have to change it from a residential, so it's a change of use, so you're gonna have to get from a residential to a commercial. But the profile needs to go through NDOT to make sure they are okay with what you're gonna do, because they wanna know how much more traffic's gonna be coming in and out of there. That's just for their information. So, it's, cause it's not, County Highway Department doesn't have anything,
right.
any jurisdiction with that. We are not the ones that maintain it, so you just need to make sure you get a hold of them and get it through them.
Any other comments? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to continue our September meeting. based on the comments of, is that how we do this?
Yeah, we usually don't do that. Imagine we just vote on,
Yeah, we can vote on, so
You continuing
why
it.
do you want to continue as opposed to allowing them to work between each group?
Because the development plan submittal is still incomplete. I would like to see a property survey alone, just the property survey. You've mentioned comments about drainage, which is also part of that development plan survey, which has not been submitted, showing those contours. I'm also concerned that there are items that we've mentioned in our comments which could change the entire layout of the site. So that then gets us all in a bind where we're doing this. Well, you know, my comments were based on this site plan. And I think it would be wise to have the petitioners work on this over the next month and then come back and show us progress for next month. Hopefully by that time, it's taken care of. My comments, yes, but I'm concerned after hearing the comments of these other departments. I want to make sure that we're all working off the same set of plans and they're all working together and we've got a cohesive site plan at the end of it.
I agree because I didn't realize, like, I just got these plans today that were changed, and I didn't know, I wasn't here the last meeting, but hearing that the septic tank moved, that's kind of, we need to see actual plans that are legit.
Okay,
So when I turn and I request.
It's the same, don't worry about it.
Are we continued or what?
well, we have a motion on the floor.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on the motion? All right, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Nay. Okay, motion passes. Let's continue to next one. Any other items on the agenda?
Get caught up in the meeting.
Any old business? Any new business? All right, okay, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Adjourn and go to the next.
We are adjourned.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you do.
I did.
She did.
I motioned, you seconded.
No, for
To adjourn, okay.
adjourning.
Thank you.
I did.